I'm great. I was shocked by a story that 2 users got COVID these days. Well, you mean 2 of our viewers? It's still out there. COVID is still out there. People are getting sick. The threat is still very, very real, and the consequences can be devastating. So you guys really got to be careful. Maybe we ought to be wearing our masks again. Is it AI generating that English subtitles on your left? AI? You guys know that even your smartphones, without using AI, you can get very good speech-to-text recognition. You guys know that, right? I mean, this doesn't have to be AI. I wonder what you think about training speaking skills with AI such as ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. Well, like, you guys don't need my opinion. Everybody knows for a fact that it's an excellent tool. It's an excellent tool as long as you use it. If you make good use of it, yeah, it can be an excellent tool. Nowadays, no one has any excuse for not being able to learn another language. There's no excuse. The only excuse you would have, the only reason that anybody would have for not being able to learn another language is just that they don't want to. That's the only reason that you wouldn't be able to learn. Owl and hour. Owl. Hour. Similar, but different. There's something that you should understand. So here, let me show you this. I will read this. I will pronounce it exactly like this. Watch the captions. I have to leave in an owl. Context is always more important than pronunciation. Never in your life. Well, maybe not never, because never say never, right? But you will almost never be in a situation where you only say the word. When you have context, okay, the small little details usually don't really matter that much. 이랑 발음 다른 거 어제 처음 함. It doesn't matter. When you have context, it doesn't matter. In a realistic sense, knowing exactly how to distinguish the pronunciations between ear and year, it doesn't really help that much. 스피킹 연습을 하고 싶은데 집 말고 다른 장소가 있을까요? The easiest solution is a hagwon. Is to go to a hagwon where they have native English-speaking people there. That's the easiest. The downside of that is it's going to cost money. But I'm aware that there are numerous other ways that you can use, like using certain apps. I've heard a lot of these like apps and platforms that you can use where you can freely and literally freely, without any cost, communicate with foreigners online. 꾸준히 하는 것이 중요하겠죠? Yeah. So consistent doing what? Being consistent doing what? I think that's the more important thing. Doing what? Watching English online courses? Being consistent with that? No. Being consistent is important. However, just use the language to communicate. Move away from studying and just use the language to communicate with people. And using is not only speaking, it's reading, listening, watching movies, writing comments, reading other people's comments, and yes, of course, speaking. That's all using English. You know, just because you're told to be consistent doesn't mean you have to spend hours, watching English online courses and looking at English learning books. No, that's not what you should be consistent with. Okay? Writing 관련 tip. If you have some specific need, right? Because since you're asking about improving your writing skills, I'm guessing that you have a purpose. There's a reason for that, right? And what I would do is give ChatGPT the details of your situation. Like, look, I have to do this sort of writing. It has to sound very formal. It has to sound very polite. I want to sound smart. I want to sound convincing. The details you only know, right? You only know the details of what you need the writing for. Open up ChatGPT, give those instructions, and ask it to give you a demo. Like, say, okay, give me a sample. Give me a writing. And then you study with that. You see what I mean? Everybody here, every single person here knows exactly what is necessary in order to improve their English. The problem is that is the one thing that you don't want to do. You're constantly looking for a way to do this without doing the only thing that will actually get you there. 강의 본 지는 1년 돼가는데 여전히 영어로 말하기는 어려워요. Something that you got to realize about learning another language, most people get so caught up looking for the best and most effective method. As you keep on hunting, you're just completely forgetting what the only effective method is. And the only effective method is to just use the language as much as you can. Take a step back and think about it, and I'm sure you'll agree with what I'm saying right now. Like, of course, how can you learn a language without using it? You just got to use it as much as you can. That's the single most important thing. And not only is it important, it's the only way. And that should be really scary to you guys, because most of you guys are probably thinking, wait, but I can't use English because my English isn't good enough. See, that's where you're wrong. You can only start to learn English, and your English will only improve once you start using it. Please keep that in mind. That is so important.